So I was just up here thinking about that energy because I was listening to my last recording and I was talking about Alihio and shit. And I was up here thinking how he is surrounded by the dead. Because if you look in Eferu eyes, Nateri eyes too, something is dark going on with Nateri. Like, she about to self-destruct. It don't matter if she's there and when she's not there. Like, I feel like Nateri life outside of Alihio is chaotic and traumatic. And she's dead in the eyes too. All of them is. The only person that still has some life in her eyes is damn, Malia. It is her, but it's fading because Alihio has to feed off of that light, and they depleted. They like dead batteries. You could actually see the energy, like cords coming from him to them, but they like at the end of his cord to them is like a leech, and he suck the light out of them, and it leaves them being like this muddy like color, like the color like the color of mud or something, but it's like a cloud, and it's thick, it's heavy. You can't get light in their eyes in that situation. And they have to learn how to regenerate their own light, which they completely lost. So that's why he be online, because he need new supply. That's why Narcs love it when you go and get healed a little bit and then you come back to them, because you come back with some light and they could suck that up dry and then they send you away again and come back. They love that. Because they can't generate light within themselves. They can only feed off of other people. So he come online and he's like hunting. He hunting for lights, within those women that be giving it to him. But a lot of them don't have any light. Like, he feeling hungry. That's his spirit. He's hungry. Negativity. And he do this in an animalistic way because that's how he is. So it's a predatory vibe that he is in, and that's what creates the narc, and that's the only way that they could survive. So he would then generate an extreme situation because he agitated because he hungry, so he will start some fight. He will treat somebody horribly or something like that. He would humiliate somebody, and that generate energy, you know. It's like dying of thirst, and then you get like a drop of rain. Just one drop, maybe a few sprinkles, and you got your tongue all out, and you gasping, trying to get that. That's what the beast look like. It's all skinny and dried up, looking like fucking That creature in the Lord of the Rain that be like, my precious. That's what they look like. For real. That's what they look like. So they generate this drama and they only get a few drops of rain. But what the Narc do after that? They try to, they will probably apologize about it. They might even shed some tears or something like that. They generate empathy in you. They start love bombing the person and stuff like that because they just went through a battle with him being like all nasty and ugly and shit like that, right? They tired as fuck. So any sign of love from him, like they would greedily accept. And that would like generate a little bit of light in them. Like they would greedily accept it. So it just, he only have to do a little bit because their energy has been starved of love. And then they turn into vampires, you know. Then they go and hunt for lights and people and stuff like that. Just to get some and come back and bring it back to the source, which is the Narc. It's very animalistic and dumb as fuck, you know. It's dark. Like when you picturing this, it's a dark space, you know. That's why it's even hard to exist in that space at some point. That's why people get tired of watching him, and they know that if they are watching him, they know that it's a problem. They know that. See, that's the energy, you know. You always in a spiritual war, and you have to be careful what you walking into, but that means that you can't be afraid to actually look at it. A lot of times people ain't seeing shit is because they don't want to, you know. And that's why I be impatient with people. Like, cause you ain't finna sit here and feed off of my energy, you know. I be impatient. But, you know, last night I hung out with a very high vibing being, and it was great. It was a good thing. So it's a difference. Sometimes people turn into those creatures. But if they come to you like that, that means that they was already that, you know. But at some point, like the Narc, they can't even coexist in your space. They get real agitated and then they will leave. And then, like the creatures, some of them came up with the concept like they wanted to heal. So they souls start to searching out for that. But you have to understand that we are like in the battleground, right? So everybody is wounded. You have some people that is created to keep up the morale, you know, maybe motivate people to um, keep going or whatever. But you could do that at all types of levels: low vibrational, high vibrational. Really practical people, they could sometimes be in like a middle point or something. But mm, yeah, like it's really like a either or thing, but there is like this mid ground. So, which you don't want to be the either. Shit, that might even be worse than the low vibrational one. Cause in a low vibrational one, like mm, let's see, trying to find the words. Like it's not really a good and a bad. It really is a either or type thing. Hmm. But they just in a brutal side of the war. I mean, the shit that they gonna create for themselves is gonna be constantly catastrophic and stuff like that. Like where they at in the battlefield and stuff, they having all kinds of like hurricanes and tornadoes and shit like that while they up here battling these demons and stuff like this and absorbing them and regurgitating them and all of this, constantly getting possessed, constantly, woo, child, it's just too much. There's a lot to deal with, but you're learning a lot. A lot of experiences. Um, they keep trying to reincarnate, but they keep on manifesting death so quickly and stuff, so they might go through a lot of lives just incarnating as that what they call it when the babies like die in they sleep. Yeah. So and then no matter how old they body age, they still is a infant energetically and stuff like that. So like it's crazy as hell over there. Crazy. So and then if you like high vibrational and you too high, you know, or some shit like that, it's like you will stop manifesting anything. But you will be like a beacon of light and stuff like that, but you won't be having as many experiences. But you consciously can create them. Something like that or whatever. But so yeah, that's like what's going on. And while you're on this battleground, you can walk into like portals and stuff like that and get sucked into certain worlds and manifest like situations that's a theme of that world. So that's like watching, like when you're watching a Lihio, you need to be stepping into it, knowing and being aware of what you're looking at, and you have to be paying attention how it's affecting your spirit, because that's like the only way you're gonna keep yourself safe. Because it's like walking into like if it's low vibrational, you would be like walking into their battlefield, and in their battlefield they constantly being possessed, but it's like a mini battlefield, and Alihio is creating it. Narcs are powerful beings. They may have had so many lives and stuff like that, but they decided to be like the devils, even though the devil is not like a negative energy, but just to have a reference, like kings of the underworlds and stuff like that. And they feel like that makes them powerful, but they always longing to vibrate higher, but they afraid to lose that power. So they become like super demons, but they powerful in their own right. And if they can ascend, being in that state, they will be even more powerful, like, because all the experiences of being a narc, like, nah, you trying to prepare for something even greater. So and then you will understand, you will be immune to narcs. But if you never go through that journey of life as being one before, then you will always become victims to it. And a lot of times people like could have 10 lives ago, they could have had been a narc for probably like 20 lives or something. And then eventually they ascend out of it, and like they gain that knowledge and that wisdom. But like when you come back here, you have to experience it to activate it again. So see, don't it feel like I'm talking about a video game? Like, and then I'm up here, like I was just researching shit, and I was noticing how it would lead to programs that they develop. And then when you read the programs, it talk about like some type of computer method that matches the mythological term of that program. See, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Like, that's crazy. I was watching The Floor is Lava, some type of shit on Netflix. And they had like pyramids, they had like these monuments on it and stuff like that. And they have a mummy that you put down and it's an alien in it. And I was like, I bet this shit is like some type of ancient ritual or something like that. And I looked it up and I found something that sounds very similar to this ritualistic shit they had on Netflix. And just by us watching it, we give it attention. And then it's like, that's the whole point of the ritual. That's the whole point of it. So, and you don't have to feel bad about paying attention to it, because if you're aware of yourself, you just in the energy, but you ain't becoming it or being absorbed by it. So, but you don't have to be afraid of it. See, when they was starting to come out with these motherfucking Illuminati type shit and stuff around like 2012 and shit, like that was installing fear into us about even noticing these rituals. And tying it into religion and shit. I feel like all that shit is a fraud. It's just something that it's like they know that people is becoming aware to certain things. So then they build a narrative to build up your mind of how to perceive what you are aware of. But if you step back and look at this shit as like a play that is playing out, then how would you be looking at it then? Like, that's just what helps for me. But you have to find your own space. Like, put that term, that energy into whatever fit your personality. Because, I mean, you could choose. I said a play, or it could be a TV show, or it could be, I mean, whatever. That puts you in that perspective, that you looking at it with observation, observing it, and not being afraid of it, and no shit like that, but how it's making you feel, what memories are it activating in you and shit like that. And are those your memories, or are that something that you heard? Like, is the information coming from you? Like, when you think of something, do you be like, well, this is how such and such told me to think about it, so this is how I should think about it?